Hello, everybody. Welcome to Community CPA's webinar. We are here every day of the week, except for Sundays at 3 p.m. Central Time. And Thursdays are kind of our special days. We always invite a guest speaker to come and tell us about our expertise. So today we have Maurice Davis from Jane Boyd, who's going to be talking about the Accelerator program. Maurice, welcome, and thank you for being here today to share about your program.
Thank you for having me. This is great. I didn't know you guys did this, so I'm pumped to be on here more often, so I can consume all the great nuggets that Community CPA is sharing with the Facebook folks and whoever else is in the meeting. So
thank you. Yes. Yeah. So quickly, I will tell a bit about Community CPA. We are a full-service accounting firm, taxes, audit, payroll, bank reconciliation, business consultation, you name it. So especially for small businesses, we are a great resource. So please do reach out to us if you have needs. Of course, coming up is tax season, so you'll want to get your taxes done. But anyway, we will launch into our program for today. So Maurice is the program manager for Jane Boyd, a local entrepreneurship program in the Cedar Rapids metro area that helps business owners every year to improve their business. He is a two-time published author and has written several books on the subject of marketing. And just as his background, he's earned a degree in finance, worked at Merrill Lynch. So he has a passion for helping small businesses. So again, Maurice, thank you. Do you want to kick it off and tell us a bit about your program?
Absolutely. Thanks so much for the wonderful introduction. It's always interesting hearing that I have a finance degree and now I'm in marketing, because they're not necessarily your friends when it comes time to, like, I want to spend your money, I want to keep your money, right? But my program is we've recently changed it. It's 6 weeks now. So now I have to go through and change all of our verbiage, right? This is a new change. Actually, this group that's starting on Tuesday will be the first official 6-week program. So throughout the 6 weeks, we work with entrepreneurs, making sure they have the foundations they need to be successful in their business, which include business model validation, marketing planning, teaching you how to leverage social media in order to gain visibility online, helping you build websites, and then talking to you or working you through how to talk to the people that you meet in public. So whether that be crowd pitches or using that information or the formats to network with people IRL, right? So that's the program in a nutshell, right? It's really just about making sure that our entrepreneurs have the tools that they need so they can identify the areas that they don't know, so that what they don't know doesn't hurt them, right? I don't want my entrepreneur to come up to the end of tax season and go, oh, I didn't know that I was supposed to do that, right? So that's what I'm here for, to keep people from bumping their head on certain stuff and making sure they get connected to great resources like Community CPA.
Awesome. So Maurice, you said, sorry, I didn't realize that it had changed to 6 weeks. So
that's okay. I didn't either.
So is it condensed now? Like all the content is still there?
Yeah.
It's just a shorter period of time?
Yes. So after doing this for about 3 years, we realized there was some stuff that is nice to have, but it's not a need to have. And so I would rather add the nice to haves on a 1-day type of thing, a 90-minute live versus holding you for another month and a half. So we intend to use the nice to have stuff as other opportunities and maybe turn those into 1-day live events where people can come out and learn that stuff. So most of the content is there. What we've done is taken away days that might have been duplicates, and then added in a office hour period where people can come in and get more support. So yes and no, but all the important stuff, the key piece of content is still there.
Wonderful. So how often do you have these cohorts then?
Yes, I don't know yet, and I don't. In the past, we did them twice a year, but that's when they were 3 months. And so now that I'm transitioning to a 6-week cohort, we may change that. But that's like me giving the asterisks out there and throwing it out there. But currently we do them January and June.
Perfect. So for this cohort, when do they need to apply by?
Today. Yeah, today. So here's the interesting thing. It is now 3:08. I have 2 slots left, 2. But because I said applications will close tomorrow, anyone that applies today has an opportunity to get in. If I fill those 2 slots today, I will close the application tonight at 4:30. So what that means is if I had 10 people apply right now and I talked to them and they all fit, I would take all 10. If I had those same 10 people apply tomorrow, I will only take 2. So that's me trying to be fair, right? The fact that I said I would open it up to the 14th, and still trying to stay inside some type of confines that, I need to have a certain number of folks so that I can still support them to the best of my ability.
Yeah, for sure. So can you tell us a bit about the format of this group then? Is it all virtual or is it in person?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it is 100% virtual. We want everyone to feel comfortable, that no matter what the situation is going on with COVID or anything else you have going on in your life, that this piece is not something that should expose you or your family to any additional harm. But it also allows us to serve people outside of Cedar Rapids. 5 years ago, it was strictly Cedar Rapids. Now I work with entrepreneurs across the state of Iowa. And so no matter what happens and where we go with COVID, it will always be a virtual component. As we start transitioning at some point back to in-person, we'll probably move to a hybrid model. So to answer the question, yes, it's virtual. And the secondary question, yes, it will always be some virtual piece.
Yeah, that's great. So in terms of time then, what is that time commitment? When do these classes take place?
Yeah, so classes are Tuesday, Thursday, 6 to 8, with an optional Friday open office hours. And that open office hours is probably going to be like 6 to 7-ish. It's an open office hour, so it goes as long as we need it to, right? But we'll definitely cut it by 8. So depends on what everybody needs. So time commitment is anywhere from 4 to 6 hours a week with me. There is stuff that you need to do as the business owner outside of working with us. But the thing that I tell folks is as much as you put in is as much as you get out. So if you want to, I guess, coast through, you could get through it with 4 hours. But if you really want at the end of the 6 weeks to be ready to kind of take that next step in your business, I probably would say about 10 to 12 hours out of the week of your time to get your business to a place so you can take whatever next step you want.
Okay, so Maurice, say that you get 10 applications tomorrow, right? And so you're deciding which ones to take. What to you is like the best fit for your program? What type of entrepreneurs or businesses would you recommend to your program?
Yeah, ooh, that's a really good one. If I had 10 applications tomorrow, so the ones I would immediately weed out are nonprofits. And I say that with again, a caveat. I will take nonprofits whenever, right? So if everybody applied today, I'd take all the nonprofits, right? But if I only have limited spots, nonprofits do take a little bit more help and a little bit more support. So that would be probably the first one that I would say, maybe next time, right? And then the people that I would take, I have a proclivity to service businesses. I believe I serve them the best, and this is a personal coaching bias, because I own a service business. Something with low overhead would be kind of the third consideration with only 2 spots left. So I want non-nonprofit, service-based, low overhead, and easy to implement. That would be the fourth thing. Particularly for a business that's getting started. For one that already exists, it's very similar, but I would be looking for someone that already has put in some work to some degree. If you've been in business 3 years and I said you have a marketing plan, and you're like, no, I never created one, then we might need to have a different conversation.
Sure. So Maurice, I'm going to go a little off script here with some of your questions, but I want to know, say that you have a really great, business that they put in, at least 10 hours of work per week in your program. Can you tell us about some of the results that have come out of that? Where do they go next, if there is a next program? Or what do you recommend for those participants?
Yeah. Where do you go next? Next is you go out and you try to implement. That's honestly next. Whatever we've talked about, whatever we've done, that's when we have to put kind of, rubber to the road and work to actually carry that stuff through. As great as classroom work or workshop work is, it really is. I'm skeptical to say theory, because the stuff we talk about is not theory. It's been done in the real world, but it's imaginary. Like, we're talking about it, but you haven't done it yet. And every business is slightly different. And so until you go out and do it, you just have a framework of how you think it will work. So I need you to go out and do it. I need you to try it, right? I need you to skin your knee. So that is the next step. As far as where do they go, it really does depend on the business. If I have somebody that's like, I'm ready to take my business to interstate commerce. Well, there are programs out there that specialize on that for the state of Iowa. So let's move you there. If you're a person that's like, I'm still just trying to get my ex customer and I'm having a hard time, well, let's have that conversation. Let's do some one-on-one appointments. Let's figure out what's not working, and let's take it out, right? So one of the things that's unique about my program, and as I continue to work with people, a lot of the small business accelerator programs you complete the program, there may be some mentor period, and you might be able to continue working with that mentor after you're done, but there's no guarantee, right? Our program, the folks that I have here, you can always come work with me. You can always come work with Faith, who is my assistant. We're here. So no matter how long you've been away, you can always come back, and we have your file right here, and we'll continue to work with you on your business to make sure that we're taking the necessary next steps. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, that does. And it also brings up another question that I have.
Yeah.
So say somebody has participated in your program before they graduate or leave the program, and then they implement, right? They're doing what you say, they try it out and it doesn't work, and they want to rework their program. Mm-hmm. Do you accept people to come in subsequent sessions, or do you just counsel them after individually, more one-on-one?
Yeah, whatever floats their boat is kind of my answer. My model, actually, if I had my original plans, when we decided to go virtual, there's always 5 spots available for my past participants. So whatever my capacity is, I have to add 5 to it. And anyone from the past can come in and join if they want to, right? The content doesn't change a ton. I try to keep what I'm teaching fairly consistent. There's some stuff that I've supplemented. So if somebody from 5 years ago jumped in, there are things that I'm teaching that we weren't teaching before. But to the best of our ability, we try to keep the program as consistent as possible to reduce variation from class to class. So I don't know how much value my entrepreneur would get from going through it again. What that would tell me is that they have a confidence issue. And that's another conversation. And I would hope that we could work through that one-to-one and get them to where they need to be to feel confident taking that next step. But we try to tell people, it's very likely you're going to fail, when you step out on your first business. I'm on business number 8, and I'm finally starting to win here. But this is business number 8. This doesn't include any businesses that didn't see the light of day. The ones you buy domain names for and you register with the state, but you never do. They don't go from being the baby, the idea. So I'm just counting the ones that I at least got a customer, right? So it's par for the course.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. And I think that means you're failing up. You're getting to where you need to be, right? So
I like to think I'm failing up most days, right?
So for your program, is there a fee to attend?
Yes. So the fee is $75, and that's all you ever pay. And so with that $75, you get a lot of really nice goodies, right? And I hate talking about what I'm about to say next because I always feel like it's bragging. So I say this right now. I'm not trying to brag. I just want people to understand kind of what you get. So myself, I'm a certified business coach, certified professional coach, and I have over 15 marketing certifications. So when you pay that $75, you get access to me as much as you want, right? The only thing I won't do is I won't jump in your business and do it for you, right? I will help you with some things that are very hands-on. Like I set up ads for my entrepreneurs, right? So there's a lot of benefits in that way. And then you get access to my assistant, who's a certified marketing professional. So everyone on staff has some certification. I feel that that's important, that you go out and you spend a little money on your education. Not because, you can't learn a lot on the free stuff, but because it means you're invested.
Awesome. Thank you. And so can you tell us a bit more about what you do outside of the cohort?
Me personally, or no, I'm just giving you a hard time.
I mean, you can talk about that if you want.
Yeah. So we have a couple of things that we do outside of the program. We host every year, twice a year, a marketing boot camp, which is a 1 day. All we talk about is marketing for like 8 hours. Different sessions. People can come in and they just go through it, right? We bring in marketing professionals from different companies, typically in the state of Iowa. We get some partners that send in some national level marketers, and we just try to impart as much knowledge as possible. So that's one thing that we do twice a year. We also hold individual workshops. Last year, we held several, we call them book clubs, but you don't have to read the book, right? Just come, and the person facilitating actually teaches you what was in the book. So it gives you the opportunity to get the nuggets without doing all the work, and then deciding if you really want to go out and invest in that book to read, or if it was just something like you just needed the quick notes. We also do what I call the Guppy Bowl, which we haven't had in the last couple of years due to COVID. But I'm hoping as things evolve that we'll be able to get back to it. But it's a Shark Tank style event where individuals can come pitch right now the pool is $5,000, and one business walks away with some money. The crowd and judges have opportunity to decide how much money individuals get, so we could have multiple individuals walk away with money.
Oh, awesome. I love that you call it the Guppy Bowl. Wonderful.
It's a ton of fun. Yeah, it's a ton of fun.
Wonderful. So how does somebody get information about, when these things are coming up?
Yes. Follow us on Facebook, Empower Iowa. That's honestly, it's probably one of the best places. I really have a proclivity to stay away from inundating people's emails. I know you get enough stuff in your email. And so as much as possible as I can make it hey, it's here if you want it, I try to. There's also, you can opt in for text messaging with us, is how we send out stuff. Again, I'm not sending you a ton of stuff, but if it's something important like Guppy Bowl applications or Empower cohort applications on an event, that's when you get text messages from me. And we do send out email occasionally. So if they want to be included on our newsletter, that's something that we can do.
Awesome. So
that's us.
Yeah. Empower Iowa.
I am a huge fan of you following us on Facebook, only because I do impromptu lives where I just answer a random question that I've gotten that week. So last week I did, how do you identify your target customer? And this is a workshop that retails for about $1,000. And it's there on my Facebook, right? Or it's there on our Facebook. So go watch it, take notes, do the exercise, because it's valuable stuff. So that's why I'm a huge fan of the Facebook. And some of that content I put up and delete just so people can't get it later.
Yes, so join you live and then you'll get the content. Wonderful. So Are there any other questions I should be asking you about your program or what to expect, Maurice?
Yeah, I would say one other benefit, I wouldn't call it a question, is that every entrepreneur that completes the program gets a website from us for 2 years for free. So if that's a barrier for someone that was looking to start a business, or if it's a barrier for you and you already have a business and you need it, but you're like, I'm not in a place where I can pay for it. That's another way that we can help you to get it. And then, we got to help you build it too. So that would be the other side of it, the big benefit that I think we provide outside of the other stuff, right? So outside of that, I don't think so. I don't think so.
You haven't told us how they submit their application.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, if they're on my Facebook, then they know. So that's the thing. Yes. Well, you can go to empoweriowa.org. And in the top right-hand corner, there's an apply button. You can also go on the Facebook. There's tons of posts talking about it. You can also send me an email, medavis@janeboy.org, and just put, I want to apply in the subject line, and I will send you the link. So any way that's clever for you, we will make it happen.
Thank you so much, Maurice. I really appreciate your time and energy, and I look forward to hearing what your 6 weeks end up looking like and how that works. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing the good news that I know you got coming up too.
Yes. Yeah. Great. So let us, if we have any questions from the audience, feel free to pop it in the chat. Otherwise, we will wrap up. Yeah. Okay. Nothing so far, but I will connect you with our audience after this. So again, I really appreciate your time, and yeah, we'll do coffee sometime.
Yes, we surely shall.
Take care, Maurice.
Have a good one.
Somebody says, if I'm in Minnesota, can I still apply?
Shoot me an email. Yeah, email me here.
All right, and another person, yeah. So there's an email for Maurice down there, but another person says they have a for-profit business and are considering changing it into a nonprofit and how they would do this. Are they a good fit for your program, or should they reach out to you?
We can definitely have a conversation about that. The way I'm hearing it now, there's definitely a way, right? But that sounds like this needs to be a conversation between me and Community CPA, right? So this is a dual combo where we can get everybody involved, because that can be a complex thing depending on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to retain the same services and repackage them as nonprofit, that can get wonky. So I would like to hear more. Diane, feel free to email me. We can set up a time to talk to figure out what best next step looks like for you, and then make sure that all parties involved are kind of in this conversation so that you get the appropriate action steps.
Thanks, Maurice.
Yeah.
These are great questions. So again, I will contact, or somebody needs to see your email again.
Yeah. I'm going to drop it again. Hold on.
Yeah. And Diane,
you know what? I see what happened.
Host and panels.
Yeah. And I did it like 3 times. I'm like, what's going on? You can't see it? No, you couldn't see it. Now you can. There you go, Diane. It's medavis@janeboy.org for anybody that's listening. And if you're like, hey, I'm not catching all of that, but I found you on Facebook, you can send us a message there and we'll respond. That's me and my staff. There's really only 3 of us, so it'll get to me.
Awesome. Okay.
Not a problem.
Thank you.
Have a good one, everybody.
You too. Take care.